that can be a competitive advantage in your life. If you're willing to do the right things, stay on the right track and put forth incredible hard work and energy, you can distance yourself. You can climb the mountain, so to speak.
Don't forget to smash that share button. Subscribe to my page. Follow me on Instagram at Lance Bachman and keep sending me those questions. So today on The Den, we have a special guest with us. Philadelphia's own born and bred Tim McDermott, president and also chief business officer of the Philadelphia Union. If you aren't pumped up to hear Tim talk about what's going on down there, there's something wrong with you. Thanks for being on The Den, Tim.
Hey, great to see you, Lance.
Nice to see you too, brother. So, you have this big role. You're in charge of this massive organization. You report up to the owners, right? And then you have all these people that work for you, plus pro athletes. You've been impacted. You're at a dead stop right now. Can you tell us about the impact of it? What's a tidal wave like that hits your organization? What do you do as the leader?
I think first and foremost is I'd applaud the leadership that the sports industry showed, because not that I would ever want somebody to get this, of course, but I think when Rudy Gobert got it and the NBA shut down and the other leagues shut down, it sent a message, I think, to the rest of society to say, hey, this is serious, and we all need to take it seriously. We all need to kind of push pause. And then, you saw businesses, you saw youth sports, so on and so forth, say, okay, we need to kind of push pause on this as well.
Your brother's the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. You go on to be president here. Most people would think you grew up in a big circle like that of power and influence. It's quite the opposite. What would you achieve all you and your brother's success to? I think I know what it is for my own selfish reasons. Philadelphia is being the greatest city in the world, but also there's something else I think that ties to that success. Would you mind? We talked about it. Do you mind if I put you on the spot?
Yeah, no sweat. Look, I think for us, like we were brought up in a household where my mom and dad, both worked. We were latchkey children. We got ourselves a school. We came home, and we're on our own. And so, very much early, I think, in our career, or in our lives, I should say, we were just around that concept of hard work. That can be a competitive advantage in your life. If you're willing to do the right things, stay on the right track and put forth incredible hard work and energy, you can distance yourself. You can climb the mountain, so to speak. So look, I think the concept of hard work was part of our upbringing, part of our DNA, and something that we carried with us our whole lives. We got early on. I think I was 6. My brother was 4. We started wrestling. And I think that as a sport is just a tremendous sport. Regardless of how good you are as a wrestler, I think the sport, carries amazing benefits to you, whether it be, the physical side of it, how to leverage and how to roll, and things that carry over to other sports, or whether it be the mental part of it.
Yeah, I think wrestling shapes a lot of people more than people think. It's great, the family, and then you add wrestling to it. It's just think about that. 2 brothers from Philadelphia, I couldn't be prouder of, have 2 elite positions, one in NFL, one in MLS. You went to Harvard. Most people don't know that. I know that. Just the accomplishments, your parents have to be so proud of what they produced. I know it's you and your brother's hard work, but they definitely helped you along the life of journey. That's pretty nice.
They did. I'll tell you, one of the things that still sticks with me today, and I remember one day my mom walked in with a piece of paper. She taped it to my door, my bedroom door, and all it said was priorities. And then it said number 1, faith, number 2, family, number 3, school, number 4, sports, number 5, social. And, she didn't say a whole lot. She just put it there and gave one to me and gave one to my brother. And that piece of paper was probably on our doors for, well after we had graduated college even. And I think it was a reminder of, how we, were expected to kind of live our lives. And, to this day, I hope that that order is still, somewhat there in my life.
But you see the president recently just said, and he said, hey, listen, we're going to open up. Professional sports really led the way, showing their leadership, I believe, whether people disagree or agree. But they definitely led the way on saying, we're going to put the people first before money, in my opinion. which I thought was tremendous, right? As a father of 4 children and brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Do you expect to start seeing a rollout of opening up from the union and other sports teams? It's just your opinion, not holding to anything. And if so, what would that look like for the viewers?
I think there's now more unevenness around the topic of when we reopen the economy, when we restart things. And look, there's unevenness because the virus is different in different states. And so if you're in, New York, you might feel very different about it than if you're in, a different state that hasn't been impacted quite as much. But it's a little bit odd because on one hand, you're hearing harsher restrictions and saying, hey, nothing's going to happen for another year. And then on the other hand, we have, more conversation that, hey, things can start in a couple of weeks. And so I think as a business leader, it's fair to say that I'm trying to navigate the waters a little bit too of, okay, well, what does this look like? And do we want to be a leader diving back into it? And what does that look like if we are? From a pure business standpoint, right? The answer would be, yeah, I'd love for the MLS to reopen before any other league reopens. The flip side of that is, okay, wait a second. How do you do that in a safe way? And, especially considering, team sports, does mean a gathering of people. And so I think it's fair to say that testing is an absolute. And until we get the scale and speed of testing much, much, much better, I think it's difficult to do a whole lot. I think that's got to be a prerequisite to whatever we do when it comes to opening.
Thank you for being on the Den, Tim. I appreciate it. Philadelphia's born and bred local leader right here. Couldn't be prouder to have you as a leader and a friend, Tim. Thank you so much for being on the Den.
Thanks. Really appreciate it, Lance. I give a lot of credit. I mean, you can't give enough credit, right, to the healthcare workers and the frontline workers and people who are at a grocery store or any of that. Like, just truly amazing. I mean, those people are doing a job that they didn't necessarily sign up for, and I commend them like amazing. And at the end of the day, look, my personal belief is, to the extent that you can do this, this time might represent an opportunity. From an MLS standpoint, if circumstances were different, it's a lot harder for us to get attention in the Philadelphia market. So given that, there's not as much, obviously no sports going on right now, how do we try and put, our players out there, coaches, myself, others, and try and get a little bit more attention for the union at this moment?